Alright, welcome to my presentation of my ASP.NET application, or a web form that is a simple SPA, otherwise known as a single page application. Now we have three web pages here. The first web page, being called the home page, is the main one I'm going to talk about. But right before that, let me go to the About section, where I actually added some content. So as we know, this is the template, and we have the About and Contact pages by default. So I just added a couple of images and some text here in place of the other text that was originally here. And as you can see, I used Flexbox and CSS in order to automatically format the placement of these images right here. Moving on, we have the Contact page, where I added a couple of images and some styling, such as the border radius and the box shadow or drop shadow. So these are simple links actually. So if you click on them, I added the attribute underscore target, so you would be led to another tab instead of being redirected into the hyperlink directly, because if you did that, you would lose the original page. And as you can see, all of these links are completely functional. The first one being a link to my Facebook account. The second links to my channel in YouTube. The third is my other website. And the fourth link right over here is an H3 tag, and it says my other projects, which is a link tree where you can see all of my other projects and scripts. So let me close all of these other tabs and get back to the home page. Now, the instructions for this project was for our midterms assessment, and this particular example focuses on the principle of CRUD, otherwise known as create, read, update, and delete. And as you can see, we have all of these different buttons here that perform certain actions that I will be demonstrating right now. As you can see, we already have an output table right below here on the same page, so we can observe the differences and manipulations we're about to do. So let me first demonstrate the get button. And as you can see, as you can observe, I've also styled all of these and given them some animations. For the student ID, I made this the primary key, just as the instructional video we watched told us to do. And let's put 234 here, just because that's a random number I've assigned to the first row over here. So if we click the get button here, it should return all of the values in that row. And just like that, we have all the values there. And let's say we need Franklin's data, so we just input his primary key, which is 1987, and then we click on the same button. And as it will be displayed right in these text boxes. And we can also create new rows here. So let's have a simple number here, say 1, and then a new name that isn't already in the list, say Sarah. And then we have options here that I've added in addition to the ones that were mentioned in the instructions. Let's say she's from South Africa, she's 40 years old, and have a random contact number. And this has to be numerical, otherwise we would encounter a data type related bug. So if we click insert here, it alerts us that the entry has been successfully inserted into our table, and it's right on top of there. Next, we have update. As for update, we just need the primary key, or in this case the student ID, to uniquely identify any of these, and we could actually change the other contents of that row. Say we wanted to change the name to anything really, as long as it's a string, age 22 or something, and a random number once again. And it should ideally change the contents of this second row once we click update, and it says successfully updated. And there's the student name, anything. And we can also delete any particular row here that already exists. Let's delete ZNAT's entry, and all we need to change in this form is the student ID, or the primary key, because that's the identifier for all of these contents. And it prompts us with an option whether to say OK or cancel if we want to proceed with deleting the item. Now in this case we want to proceed, and it says successfully deleted. And just like that, the row with the primary key 1389 is gone. Now if we want to isolate any particular entry here, we just want to type once again the student ID. Let's have mines pop up, and remember any of the other ones, say 1234, and just click on the search button once again, and that should isolate that particular entry. And I remember the other key here that may also be seen, and we just click on the same button and that pops up as well. And that's it for my presentation of this simple SPA CRUD web forms application built on ASP.NET. Thank you.